And a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Pierce. First of all, thanks for checking out our podcast. I really appreciate it. I just wanted to jump in here before the episode and say that you may notice this says that this is episode 2, even though it's our first upload. Well, that's because unfortunately our first episode we recorded was lost in an external hard drive that broke. So I'm just going to give you a recap of what we talked about last week right here. The way this podcast works is we watch bad scary movies, discuss them, and then rank them in an ever-growing list so we can find the worst scary movie of all time. Last week we watched Ouija, Origins of Evil, and Five Nights at Freddy's. This was so we could start off the list with 3 movies. Most weeks we're just going to do 1 unless we're doing like some sort of special episode. So we watched those 3 movies and then ranked them from worst to best as follows. So coming in at the worst movie we've seen so far was Ouija, Origins of Evil. And then after that was Ouija, the original movie. And then finally, as the best movie we've seen, was Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, if you want to check out this list for yourself, there's a link in our bio for the YouTube channel and also in the description of the video that will take you to Letterboxd, where we've got our ranked list on there. It's too bad that we lost the first episode because I think it was maybe the best first episode of a podcast ever. But it's too bad. So anyways, thanks for listening. Now onto the podcast. Let's see I don't know what it's going to sound like coming out of my mouth.
You're in charge, boss.
I'm just
boss man.
I'm just going to do it. Hello and welcome.
Welcome back to another episode of All Things Considered.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Dookie Spookies, the podcast where we watch bad scary movies and rank them in an ever-growing list to discover what the worst horror movie of all time is.
So you don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't have to.
You're welcome.
Saving your lives.
Yeah.
Really.
I'm Pierce.
Saving lives. I'm Chris.
You did better this week.
I did.
I'm Riley.
I was
Jack.
ready.
And
I talked over everybody else.
and I'm Pierce. So
We're here.
we're here.
How's everybody's Saturday?
Second episode. It's going
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, third, technically.
Technically,
Patreon.com/Dookie Spookies.
My-
We're gonna have to
second.
do that now.
Yeah, we are gonna have to do
Yeah.
that. You're second. Yeah,
My second.
we've got previous recurring guest or previous kind of sort of recurring guest
Yep.
to now core member of the pod.
Turned very quickly.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, my Saturday's been good. It's been a weird Saturday so far, waking
Yeah.
up and watching the movie that we watched this week.
Jesus.
Yeah.
But before we get into the movie,
Yeah, that's true.
why don't we talk about what we're drinking?
Why don't we talk about it? Riley, why don't you start?
I think you should tell them, considering you were the
I'm
nice bartender that made it for me.
Not
That's
drinking
Jack's
it.
new his new role on the pod is bartender.
Is bartender.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
Designated
true.
bartender.
We have a very delicious concoction by Jack.
Thank you.
And I believe you said club soda with vodka and a little bit of Mio, which I'm guessing is like a tangerine.
Yeah.
Can you give me some
Flavor?
other tasting notes?
Are you getting hints of anything?
Yeah.
No, it's very heavy on the tangerine.
Oh, unrefined palate.
Yeah.
Why? What'd you put in
Jack
there?
went a little heavy on the tangerine, I feel like.
It's not
There was
vodka.
just a hint of
It's
olive
gin.
juice in there.
Oh, gin.
Yeah.
Ugh, sorry. God.
I have a
don't know.
master's degree in bartending.
Mixology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking a Pacifico beer
Nice.
out of
Bless
a
you.
bottle.
Yep.
I'm drinking a spotted cow, the last one in my fridge.
Illegal in the state of wherever we are.
That's
Yep.
that may or may not be
Shit,
true.
we doxed ourselves.
We're actually recording this from the Amazon rainforest.
Yeah. That is true. Heart of the jungle.
Yeah.
Heart of the jungle.
What are you drinking, Chris?
I'm
are you looking
I'm
at me?
also having a Pacifico.
Pacifico.
Yes.
Great. Super tasty.
Super tasty. Yeah, the beer of
Good beer.
champions.
Yeah.
Yep. So I think we've
Or
got.
Sam's Club.
Oh yeah, the beer of
Yeah.
Sam's Club.
I think
Yeah.
we've got a. What are you writing here? Oh,
Nothing for you. Quit. Stay out of my messages.
Riley says in our live questions, "Are you
my
serious about
God.
it being illegal?"
Yeah.
No,
Now
I don't
I'm
know.
not typing anything to you ever again.
Yeah.
It's the reason why I typed it and not said it, Jack.
Is 100%.
Well, you tried
illegal.
to like lip
I
sync
was-
it to me at first, and
Yeah.
I did not know what you were saying. You said, "Wow, wow, 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 wow." This is great podcasting.
Yeah.
yeah.
Here's the thing I see right now.
I see a wall and 3 of my best friends.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
You're making me
so
cry.
cute.
Shut up. I think we've got a great.
I can't ever be a woman when I'm around this thing.
Jesus Christ.
Nope. No, it's always this. It's always that about. Oh, I
God.
can't be a woman.
I think we've got a great podcast for this week. I
Right.
think it's going to be really
A
good.
really equitable
agree.
podcast this week.
Yeah.
There's a lot to
So-
say about this movie.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
we're all excited to get in and talk about it.
Yeah. So this we're going into non-spoiler talk here. So what movie did we watch this week?
This is a Chris
Oh,
choice.
yeah.
Yes,
This
this
is
is
a
your
Chris
movie.
choice.
Yeah.
This week we watched Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Bum bum.
So I've got some information, per usual, on the movie. Budget of $100,000.
No way.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
it gets
all
crazier.
makes sense.
It gets
now.
crazier. It made 5.2 million worldwide.
Oh my god.
It released in like 3 countries, I believe: America, Mexico, and maybe a little bit in Asia.
They made profit.
Seriously.
It was shot in 10 days.
No way.
Okay, well.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Shot in 10 days. I guess they had to go back for a few days to do some reshoots.
Oh god. What could this movie have been?
I would say tops, they filmed it in 17 days probably.
Jesus
which is wild.
Christ.
Everything is all coming together now.
Yeah.
The director claimed he got death threats from Winnie the Pooh fans because they didn't like the direction that the movie was going, which seems
kind of gives authority to the movie actually. If you're getting
Yeah.
death threats from Winnie the Pooh.
yeah.
Fans.
Here's an interesting fact. It was shot in the actual forest that inspired 100 Acre Woods.
Where is that?
It's in I think Sussex
Someplace in
And that's
the UK?
where?
in the UK.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because I don't know how familiar anybody is with like the background of Winnie the Pooh,
I'm not.
but it was basically this writer and this artist got together and they made Winnie the Pooh for I think a newspaper, because they commissioned him to make something, and he based it off of a teddy bear he gave his son Christopher Robin. Yeah,
He doxed his own kid for this.
yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
I hope it was worth it.
Yeah.
And boy, if you loved this movie, then I've got great news for you. A sequel and a shared universe are both apparently. in
Oh my
development.
god.
Yeah.
Wow.
A
I've seen that.
shared universe?
You want to
With
hear what that
who?
means? The director wants to make a Peter Pan horror movie
Yes.
and a Bambi horror movie.
I love it.
Oh
my
my
God.
god. A
That's
Bambi
kind.
horror
I
movie?
think that's kind of smart as shit.
I love it.
How are they going to do a Bambi horror movie on $100,000?
Well, he said that for the sequel that they're planning to this, he's gotten 5 times as much money to make it.
Okay, $500,000.
So $500,000. That's pretty good.
Aren't most movie budgets like $20
Millions?
million?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're usually in the millions.
Well, that changes a lot because I mean, watching this movie and then now knowing that it was $100,000 budget, it looked
pretty good.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked all right.
Yeah.
There was never a point in this movie where I was like, oh my god.
There are a few moments, but we'll get into that. So my final
Okay, alright.
tidbit here, I think it's pretty great. So people theorize, because it didn't release in China. It was actually banned from being shown in China.
I think I know why.
Okay.
Well, people theorize
After
that
this podcast will be banned in China.
people theorize it was banned because of the memes comparing China's president to Winnie the Pooh.
Almost certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost certainly it was banned for that.
That's I hope that's true.
Yeah, so after that sentence, this podcast is an American podcast only.
Yeah, pretty much. But those are my little tidbits on it. So that takes
Incredible.
us very handily into my favorite segment.
$100,000.
Yeah, $100,000. That's fucking nothing.
Nothing.
And shot in 10 days?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, oh man,
it's
they're
incredible.
they did a
Impressive.
good job for 10 days and $100,000.
There were
Yeah.
legitimately some good shots in
Yeah.
it.
I agree.
Especially of like just the woods. I was like, that looks pretty good. You know?
I like the
There was-
lighting a lot. I thought it was cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you were gonna say?
No.
What were you
No.
gonna say?
I think it kind of goes into spoiler talk, but there was just a shot in the beginning that I actually verbally noted. I was like, that's a pretty good shot.
Yeah.
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 You know what I was going to say?
What were you gonna say?
I was going to say, what's the story, Chris?
Oh, what's the story? This is a fantastic story of Winnie the Pooh and his gaggle of friends becoming depressed, getting a little angry, and becoming super villains.
Yeah, it's true. It's what it's about. Maybe they should do a crossover with Marvel.
Yeah,
I'd watch that.
The Guardians of the Galaxy take on Winnie the
would.
Pooh.
I'd watch that.
I think Pooh would win. I think Pooh would
Yeah,
win.
you might.
I think he might win against Superman.
I agree.
Seriously, it's fucking.
Strong.
Okay, we're getting into a little spoiler talk there. I think.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. We're
He's a
just,
bear.
We're,
He's a
we're,
bear,
we're
after
just
all.
wetting people's palate a little bit.
Yeah.
We're giving them some teasers here.
Yeah.
Is your palate wetted
Oh, it's
right
moist.
now? That's good.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if I should read this every time, our disclaimer, that we're not professional movie reviewers and we're actually four idiots sitting in a basement talking about movies. But if, if you don't like what we have to say, fucking go watch it yourself. Get something better to do.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Damn right.
Yeah. Initial reviews. What did everybody think of it?
I liked it.
I didn't mind it.
I liked it a lot.
No.
I thought it was fun.
It was. I feel like very early on you realize this isn't a movie to take serious. Like this
Yeah.
is a fun movie. Just sit back and enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
do you have a different opinion?
It's not that I just, it was a huge shock. Like, I feel like I have PTSD. I do not like gore movies. I had no idea what this was walking into this, and then they open the way that they did. It I'm traumatized.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
fair enough.
But as we said earlier, there were some pretty good shots. Overall, I don't think it's a bad movie. I was entertained,
Yeah.
to say the least.
yes.
Should we give like ratings on it, like number ratings?
Oh, I think we should maybe give some letterbox
Some letterbox reviews.
I feel like at some point we should give some ratings, maybe.
I would agree.
Like you want a star rating?
Maybe out of 10.
Oh, out of 10. That's a good question.
I would
think-
give it
Go ahead.
either a 4.5 or a 5.
Out
Alright.
of 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty average movie.
Average?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 6.5 to 7. I enjoyed watching it. I laughed a couple of times. It was pretty good.
I'm going to give it I'm thinking like a 5.8.
Okay. Yeah.
Feeling a strong 5.8. Slightly above average, maybe.
Okay. Yeah. I think I'm thinking of a 6. Yeah. Just around there.
Solid 6.
Kind of. Yeah. It was an enjoyable movie. It wasn't enjoyable, I think, for the reasons it was meant to be, but
Yeah.
I've had a lot of laughs during the movie.
I did as well. It was I didn't really know what to expect going into it. I was just kind of like it seems like the director knew that Winnie the Pooh was going to be in the public domain and jumped on it immediately and just probably made a slasher movie basically. And that's basically what it is.
Yeah.
They started filming it, I think, the same year it went into public domain.
Oh, so they didn't wait at all.
No.
They just went into it.
But it kind of surprised me. I mean, the Letterboxd reviews are overwhelmingly negative. Most of them are 1 star. 41% are 1-star reviews on Letterboxd. But, like I said, I thought it was more middle of the road. Like, if this wasn't Winnie the Pooh and this was Jason,
Yeah, just be Jason.
People would be like, "This is just a fine Jason movie.
Yeah.
It's not that crazy."
This is, I think, a good Letterboxd review on here from Naghimi that kind of sums it up. 5 stars, borderline unwatchable. 5 stars. I mean,
Yeah.
that's more or less what it was.
I like Half a Star. Pooh isn't himself when he's hungry.
That's pretty
Oh
good.
yeah, that is a pretty good
By Nico Pico. Did you say who wrote your
I
review?
did. Yeah,
Good.
I did.
Gotta give credit.
We got to give credit.
one. This may be dipping the toes into spoiler territory, but I liked Winnie the Pooh in the Forest of BDSM Fetishes by Enrique Trejo.
I like.
Go ahead. Ray.
Whoa.
I was gonna say that I thought that while watching it, I was like, "There's some weird sexual undertones in this deal."
Oh my
Yeah.
God! But they toned down very quickly.
Yes.
This is weird.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that.
Yeah,
I want to talk about this.
hold that note. Yeah,
Yeah.
go
What's
ahead.
your Letterboxd review?
I like the comment by The Salvador. Even porn movies make more sense than this.
Incredible.
You guys are great. Conversation going while I'm not talking. You
Yeah.
guys are really
I can't do
good.
anything without the boss, dude.
I just want to
know.
get into it. There's so much I have to say.
Yeah,
about this movie.
this is gonna be a short non-spoiler talk. I don't have
know.
anything. I just want to jump into this movie.
Well,
Yeah.
then, why don't we just get into it?
Why don't we just get into
Just
it?
like-
Why don't we just get into
You
it?
know what?
First thing
You know
I will
what?
say,
hey
the
Riley,
movie
hey
just-
Riley, you know what? Why
What?
don't we just get into it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the movie got right into it.
Oh,
Wow.
good segue.
Damn,
that was
dude.
fucking. You're quick on your feet. Dude.
That was great.
Yeah, the initial shock value of like there is no
Well,
buckling
can you give
in.
us
There
some,
was no.
Can you give us some like context as to how it opens? Give us a little description.
If I can remember correctly, I believe it opens with this very eerie, like storytelling, drawing,
Little
picture,
animation. Yep.
animation.
They look similar
Opening up-
to actually the original Winnie the Pooh drawings.
They do.
They were in that vein,
I don't think I've ever seen those.
but more horrifying.
Who did that animation and was paid whatever they were paid for a movie on $100,000 budget?
Oh, in this movie?
Yeah, very sick.
I have no idea. It looked pretty good.
Looked great.
Yeah, I like that part of it.
Yeah.
I like that.
They cut back to it later at some point, which I thought was weird and probably just to save on maybe budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but
But it tells the backstory, which is essentially these, 4 or 5 mutant animals.
yeah, they call them half breeds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which I think
crossbreeds,
was
yeah.
an important kind of departure from the original Winnie the Pooh universe.
Yep.
Yeah, where they're just animals.
Yeah. No, these are half breeds.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I guess are. I took it as they're mutants, or
I took it
what I
as
thought.
that somebody fucked a bear.
That's what I was also thinking. Someone went in and
Somebody
just fucked a pig.
Fucked a pig, fucked a bear.
fucked
I mean,
a-
I was thinking like
figure it
science
out.
experiment gone wrong, but
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
The fucking could
either
still
way
be
could go.
there.
Yeah, either way it could go.
I think both work, honestly.
I think so too.
I mean,
Either way, it was weird.
Yep.
yeah,
It was very weird.
strange setup to the story.
Yeah, but I mean, good. It kind of like it gets you thinking. It. I will say the soundtrack on this, the music, the scoring, I was pretty anxious. I thought it was pretty good.
Lucky for you, there's a documentary about the making of the soundtrack called Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey and Violins. That's not a joke.
Won't watch that, but thank you for that information.
Fuck me, I guess. I really like the soundtrack. Well, there's a documentary about how they made
I'm
it.
just
I
saying
don't give a fuck, dude.
It did its job. I mean, being a very anxious-ridden person, anyways, but I'm an easy target. But I thought I did pretty good.
Yeah.
So
we cut from the animation. Mm-hmm. And do you remember?
I don't think I do.
Yeah. So fucking
I just
Christopher
remember it.
Robin is married now.
Mm-hmm.
Or he's
Oh,
married.
no, engaged. I thought it was
Married.
engaged.
We're skipping an important part.
Okay.
They ate Eeyore.
Yeah.
Oh my god! They did. They ate him.
Yeah.
They ate Eeyore.
So-
I forgot about that.
Oh wait, okay. So the animation we're so bad at this. You gotta finish the animation. So you meet the mutant animals.
Yeah.
That's what
and
they should have
then
called this movie, Meet the Mutant Animals.
Yeah.
they introduce them, and like Christopher Robbins finds them and takes them in. They're one big happy family. And
Basically, if you've ever seen Winnie the Pooh, it's that.
yeah.
Yep.
But then he leaves for college.
Yeah.
And somehow they like.
Well, they get all hungry.
Well, they get all. Oh yeah, that's right. They get all because winter is coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
They eat Eeyore.
to survive the winter,
Poor,
they eat their
poor
dearest friend
Eeyore.
Eeyore.
Didn't deserve that.
And then
No,
they pinned
he
his
didn't.
tail on the cross.
Yeah, they did.
I was curious about. I wonder why they killed Eeyore off. And
Probably because he was the easiest target.
Well, I suspected that it's maybe because Eeyore would have been hard to animate as a donkey man.
We're thinking logically.
Maybe.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
That's what I kind of
Also,
assumed.
Eeyore as a character wouldn't be that scary.
But then,
No.
as it gets into the movie, you don't see any of the other characters. You only see Pooh and Piglet.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, so where the fuck is Tigger?
well, in the sequel,
I don't know.
in the sequel, he says that he wants to do. I guess Piglet's going to be back. He's going to be redesigned,
Oh,
Oh.
my god, that ruins the movie.
and that Tigger
Yeah.
and Owl are going to be in it.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Jinx.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Christopher Robin Eeyore's been eaten, just devoured.
Yeah. Just bones left.
The mutant animals have a grudge.
Yeah,
And
they
they
become
want-
enraged.
Yeah, they want to be repaid.
They hate man.
They hate-
and what
yes.
it stands
Man.
for.
Indeed, they abandon their humanity. It said.
Yes.
They
Yep.
abandon their humanity. And so I think that I don't know when they start their killing spree, but I assume
Seems immediate
immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because they kill Eeyore.
Which I thought was
immediately.
funny because they've been out there for a long time,
What were they doing?
and they seem to have enough food.
They had a lot of honey.
They had a lot of honey.
Yeah.
So Christopher Robin left, and they immediately just went crazy.
Yeah.
Sound
Pretty much.
pretty toxic relationship there, I think.
So what's
A little bit.
something I thought about with this was this pretty much follows the same premise as the movie Christopher Robin.
I've never seen it.
It stars Ewan McGregor as an adult Christopher Robin who comes back and assumes that all of it was just like, oh, I was a kid, I made all that up, but then it turns out that they're real. And
And they're like, "Where did you go, Christopher Robin?"
yeah, they were like, oh, you're back, that's great. It wasn't nearly as murdery. It was kind of like, oh, Christopher Robin, you've forgotten your innocence. Let's try to get that back. So it's kind of like Paddington, but with Winnie the Pooh
Okay,
characters.
gotcha.
But it's kind of the same setup, only if they...
Only if there was innocence in this movie.
Yeah, there is no
None.
innocence at
Innocence
all.
has left the
Yeah,
building
'cause
and
we-
is not returning anytime
No,
soon.
no, it is not. We get into it quick.
Yeah.
Very fast.
Very,
Christopher
very
Robin
fast.
wants to show his wife to be that these bears were real and that he's not an insane person.
Yeah.
Which I think is probably a fair prerequisite if you're going to marry somebody who keeps talking about bears they met in the woods.
Yeah. These crossbreed animals.
Yeah, you probably want to prove it to them. So
Yeah.
they get back. They show up to what I assume is the leftover Survivor set from the 2022 season, where I guess the bear lives, and the pig.
I thought that they lived in a shockingly nice...
It was super nice.
Yeah, put
Yeah.
together
They had
shack.
power.
They had a shack.
little house.
It was honestly, I
They had
remember
a-
it being built into like different like rocks or trees, like almost like a tree house.
But they just...
Quaint.
It seems like they just lived in one shack and then a bunch of campers.
yeah.
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 But it makes sense because this movie couldn't touch anything that Disney had portrayed with Winnie the Pooh in the cartoons. So they had to stay away from as much of that as they could. So they couldn't have like, one thing I read said that they gave Pooh a red shirt, but like that's pretty much as close to they could get. Like the mask couldn't be similar to.
Just similar enough that
Yeah.
you could recognize the character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they were recognizable.
They
I was a
were.
little
Yeah.
mad that Winnie the Pooh had pants on.
Yeah.
Well, he's older now.
Yeah.
He's
That's
learned
true.
shit.
Where'd
grew
they
up.
find the clothes? Where'd they get the overalls?
Probably
And-
took him from some guy.
Yeah,
they
from
ripped
Yeah.
apart.
all of the dead
Yeah.
bodies.
I mean,
that have
Winnie the
piled up.
Pooh's a big man.
He
He's
is.
huge.
Yeah, those
dude.
were a couple
Giant.
big fellas.
Big
I mean,
fellas.
He's like 7 feet tall.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And in the fight scene at the end, he looked a lot taller.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah.
Way taller.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're jumping ahead. But I just want to point out the first part. Piglet attacks Christopher Robin's wife. We kind of do like a little stealth scene. Christopher Robin is a coward.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Christopher
I
Robin
was
is a
so
coward.
pissed.
He didn't do anything.
I was so pissed.
just
Piglet's
watched-
just choking his wife out.
Yes.
And he's like
screaming and
no!
Please, Piglet,
Please
Yeah.
stop.
don't do it. And then Piglet just kills her. And he's
just kills her, and then he runs away, and we get our first of many 1 minute and 30-second long fucking pleading scenes. It happens so many times in this movie. I went back and I counted the amount of times that it happened.
How many were there?
I think there were 4.
Okay.
And all of them were 1 minute and 30 seconds long, which is weird. Because, yeah, it's 1 minute and 30 seconds of him going, I love you, Pooh. Why are you doing this? And then Pooh and Piglet just slowly taking steps towards him, which is a big part of this movie.
Yeah.
Is people taking very slow steps towards you.
Yeah, they kind of do more of a waddle.
Yeah, they do kind of waddle.
They kind of waddle around, which I thought was very funny. Just seeing them, like, kind of waddle like a penguin towards somebody and then kill him.
It is funny. So they take Christopher Robin away after this scene.
Uh-huh.
And then we get the intro credits, fucking 15 minutes after the movie started.
That caught me off guard.
Yep.
I was like, we're doing the intro now? Really?
I thought we were there. I thought we were in.
I was like, I thought we already watched the intro. What happened?
I part of me thought that they shot the first part as like a short, and then they were like, we should make a whole movie out of this. And then they were just like, well, let's just tack it on.
Yeah.
But if it was only 10 days, and they probably did it all at the same time.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we jump to therapy. We get right into therapy.
Therapy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how the movie opens.
Really?
After the credits.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Therapy.
Yeah. I didn't catch a single person's name.
Nope.
Nope.
I think the main girl was named Maria.
Which one's the main girl?
Final
The one
girl.
that lived the longest.
Yeah.
That one.
I didn't know she was the main girl. They all just felt like
The same.
somebody
Sort of
threw a bunch
disposable
of
side
characters
characters.
in there.
Yeah, for sure.
I can kind of
Especially-
tell she was the main girl because she opened up
the
with
movie.
therapy
Yeah.
and was telling her very traumatic.
She's the only
story.
one we get any backstory on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the backstory was weird.
It was weird.
Yeah.
It was a little strange.
She has a stalker
She's got a stalker.
who tried to take her shirt off while
Yeah.
she slept.
It's got nothing to do with the entire rest of the movie.
No,
at all.
at
Not
all.
at
Except for at one point she thinks that Winnie the Pooh is the stalker.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which clearly he's not.
He is not. No, he's not at all.
That's
you
a
should
bear
know
man.
this by now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like that line. Why would he leave me alone? You just saw a bear in the driveway. It's not a man. It's not a man.
I thought it was pretty funny seeing everybody react to these very clearly, masks.
Yeah.
And thinking, oh my God, what is this
It's
thing?
not human.
And not going, that's a man in a Winnie the Pooh mask. That's
I
exactly
think
what that is.
The scariest part about this movie was watching Pooh eat.
Oh, yeah.
Seeing him
Oh, my
eat with
God.
the mask.
Yeah, did you see my note?
No.
It says Winnie the Pooh doesn't know how to eat honey. Because he's just slathering it on his face.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Well, it's skincare. He's got great skin.
No fur.
No fur at all. No.
Just a
Smooth
yellow
bear.
yeah,
skinned bear.
smooth bear.
Horrifying.
Smooth
bear.
Yogi might want his skincare routine. It was
Yogi?
Bear.
Yeah.
Yogi the bear has got notably awful skin.
Yeah.
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 We should make a Yogi the Bear horror movie.
I think that's
That'd
probably
be good.
still owned by Nickelodeon.
It probably is, but I think we can talk him into it. Just show him this movie.
Yeah, we'll just show him this movie. And be like,
Yeah,
look,
and
these
we'll
guys
talk
made
about- let's just do
fucking
this. We can
so
do it
much
better.
money. Yeah.
We can do better.
But yeah, so therapy session, I'm going to call out this therapist for being the worst therapist ever.
Absolutely.
You should go somewhere quiet and secluded. Maybe.
Maybe a cabin in the woods.
Maybe a cabin in the woods.
Can we jump right into that? If we ever go in the cabin in the woods and y'all motherfuckers try and take my phone and lock it up, I'm not doing it. I'm not having it.
Hey, can I see your phone?
No.
That's what we had plans for that next weekend. You don't
Yeah.
want to do that anymore?
You didn't want to go?
Stupidest rule ever.
It was pretty dumb.
It made me upset.
But they let her bring her gun.
It's a gal trip. Wait, no, that part's so fucking ridiculous. We gotta talk about. So
Yeah.
we're gonna jump forward a fucking bunch. Okay.
Oh, hold on. Before we get there, to kind of
I've got
keep
a
it
few
a
things
little
to say as
linear,
well.
yeah. The first chase scene of the movie,
No, that comes. Is that after gun or pre-gun?
that's pre-gun.
Is it
Because
pre-gun?
gun
Oh,
is
okay,
at the
okay.
very end.
Yeah.
But that first chase scene
So.
is the funniest thing I have ever fucking seen. The cameraman is literally running with them. Well, it feels like I was watching an episode of Cops. He was just chasing after them.
My favorite part was when the twig breaks, she whips around, and then you see Pooh, and then when he starts running,
Yes.
he's so upright, he's like, ah. It's so fucking funny.
Well,
this leads really well into what I was going to say, which is seeing Winnie the Pooh rip a woman's shirt off is disturbing.
Oh my
in so
God.
many
Oh
ways.
my god.
That's a
What was the
good
purpose
point.
of that?
Yeah.
To show tits.
Immediate
I guess so.
nudity.
It's a horror movie.
Yeah, I
You
guess
have to
that's
show
fair.
tits. Have you ever seen a horror movie before?
Yes.
There's tits in all of them.
Yeah, all slasher movies have a obligatory or obligatory.
It was obla and it was gory.
Yeah, obligatory viewing of tits.
Yeah, I was really enjoying that hot tub scene.
Yeah,
She was good looking.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the movie
massive
is
honkers.
super sexual.
Sorry.
It's a massive
I was really jealous. Yeah, there was some good ass boobs.
God damn.
Oh my lord.
I'm not sure they're
Yeah.
real, but they look great.
Who's to say?
I
Send
think
us
we
an
spent
email.
like a
Send
good
us an
15
email.
minutes together.
Yeah, that fucking was so ridiculous. It was so out of nowhere. Winnie the Pooh just rips her shirt off.
Yeah.
And I think, from a movie perspective, it did a good job destroying any concept of Winnie the Pooh that I had previously.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
was like, oh no, Winnie the Pooh is a monster.
Yeah.
yeah,
And then he killed her before he put her in the wood chipper.
Yes.
yep.
And was that her skeleton later in the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was his
wait,
girlfriend.
Wondering.
Oh,
think
wait, that's a good question.
think a
I
wood
thought
chipper-
it was, but the wood chipper would have.
Yeah, probably destroyed
Eaten it
that.
up.
Yeah, what a
There was a really good CGI shot of the blood coming out of the wood chipper. It's fucking-
There was
really great.
some rough CGI in this, but $100,000.
Yeah, so the gals meet up at the house that we are now,
yep.
and I want to talk about my favorite scene in this entire movie, is you get this like really ridiculous like almost like porn intro shot of Big Tits Girl in her bedroom, like
Doing like a-
humping a pillow,
Yeah.
getting after it.
What was she doing?
Playing air guitar to a song with no guitar in it. And then you hard cut to a group therapy session.
Yeah.
It was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It was like, look at my big tits. I was molested. Like that was the cut. It was ridiculous.
I don't think it was the same girl, was it?
No,
No.
but it was main girl was doing her therapy session, but the other girl was there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then it got weird because then you cut back to the hot tub scene, and she's back in the swimsuit.
Acting sexy.
So I was like, what is happening?
I thought that. I literally wrote down, so things are just kind of happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things are just kind of happening.
I don't really understand why or
I think maybe they were obligated to open with like two sort of like nudity shots. One of them wood chipper-esque, the
Yeah.
other one just total fan service. I mean, that part in the movie served nothing other than
No.
for everybody watching it to go.
Yeah. That was to sell some tickets to some horny
That was
dudes.
to sell some tickets. If you're 13 and your parents gave you their credit card to use the Amazon Prime account,
boy.
dude, this is the movie.
Yeah, this
for
is the movie
you.
for
This
you.
if a kid
Absolutely.
watched this, they probably have some weird emotions going on right now. Because
Yeah.
we touched on it earlier, but there's some strange sexual energy in it.
Yep.
Like when the hot tub girl gets got.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I
And
looked
she
this
gets
up.
hogtied.
Shibari time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, just laying on the ground.
Yep.
And I thought, where did Pooh learn to operate a car?
Yeah, he was trying to
Yeah,
BMW.
that's a good
dude.
question. Another question.
When did he learn that?
Where
taught
did they
him?
learn those knots?
That's another
Yeah.
good
That's,
question. They're like
have they
surprisingly
practiced?
handy.
Yeah.
They've got a nice house. They can drive it. They have a BMW. I don't know whose BMW that was because they didn't drive.
I think it was the
there.
girls.
No.
Was okay.
Yeah.
I think it was their car.
They drove there
But-
in a red
No,
car.
I thought there was a scene where she's like, "Whose car is this?"
Oh, so it's Pooh's car?
That's what I thought. That's what I was like.
BMW M5.
Ride it
No wonder
in.
he gets around so fast.
But they can't open doors to get inside. They had to walk around
That's
to find
true.
the open door.
Yeah, that's an important distinction of having bare
Yeah.
paws versus hands.
Yeah. They can drive a car. They can tie some knots.
Yep.
Just as long.
Doors
as they
are
can
not
open
for
it.
them.
But the front door was wide open when they went in.
That was my
Yeah.
other favorite part of the movie where they go, somebody opened the door and went inside, and they see the dead girl and they go, we should go inside.
And then they're like, oh no, they might be inside. But then there's a very funny shot of Pooh walking by with an army of bees.
Yeah, he's got an army of bees.
Yeah.
And that comes back.
Just what?
Let's
It
hold
does come
this.
back.
Let's
I
hold
thought-
this
I
because
thought that
that's
was-
important. I have an important question.
I thought it was going to be a recurring thing.
He's got an
His
army
army
of
of
bees.
bees,
Yeah.
but he never uses them.
Well, he does.
for once.
He does
yeah,
use them.
one time.
He uses those bees.
Yeah.
So yeah, we learned that Pooh has dominion over bees.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is amazing.
It's
Which you'd think
superpower.
it'd be really easy for him to get honey
Yeah.
Yeah.
and not
Why
starve
is
to
he-
death.
Maybe that's
people.
why he had so much honey.
It's because he has dominion. He's got
Yeah.
power over bees.
He just
I feel like in the
extracted it.
cartoons they competed for the honey. He was always trying to fight off some bees.
He did box
I
those
think
bees.
so.
Did he box some bees?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got him in a rear naked choke.
Mm.
I believe
Incredible.
so. I don't remember if this was before or after that hot tub scene, but at one point while Christopher Robin is tied up, Pooh whips him with Eeyore's hair.
I didn't put that together. That's
That was
yours,
crazy. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and then they got the song going. That smell something. That smell. I was like, they played
Yep.
that all the time in the fucking.
They did. Something
didn't
was
notice
smelling.
that.
Something was smelling. Yeah, and then they grind up his wife and drop her entrails on him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Gross.
Yeah, bathe him in her guts.
Maybe that was her skeleton
I think it was.
because he freaks out
thought
about
so.
it.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. I felt like the sound design in this movie was weird at times.
Mm-hmm.
Where, especially like when they're in the house and there's a jump scare where like Pooh comes out around the corner or whatever when they're in the pool room. And you'd think that that would be like a good opportunity to throw in a loud sound to make you jump a little bit. But it sounded like they turned the volume down on it.
Yeah.
Like it got quieter in
I
that scene.
really didn't think there were any like jump scares in this movie.
No.
There were
No,
some tense shots,
I was-
but no. I didn't.
I think when he came
I
out
was
around
so
the corner.
consumed by the gore.
Yeah, when he came around the corner in the pool room when they were
that was
sneaking around.
Piglet.
Yeah, that's who it was.
Yeah.
I felt like that was like as close to a jump scare as you get, but I felt like that moment could have hit really hard, but they didn't do the sound design
Yeah.
good enough there.
Instead, they send you through a very painful scene where somehow this girl cannot swim,
Yeah. Guess how long it
and it's like a 5-10 minute take
was. It was a
of
minute and 30
just
seconds.
walking through the pool. that was.
Here's another weird part about the pool scene. They do a lot of underwater shots of the pool clearly getting deeper.
Okay.
The girl is killed at the deepest end of the pool, and Pooh or Piglet was getting like slowly sinking into the water as he walked down because the pool's getting deeper, and then they cut and he's coming back out of it, and all of a sudden he's like a foot above the water.
Yep.
And I was like,
noticed that.
he's short. Piglet's the shortest character in this movie.
Yeah.
Well,
How is he touching
They
the
had a
ground?
he
couple-
grew up. He got
Yes.
big. Eating Eeyore.
No, I
just-
know, but even in
gave
this
him all the
now,
No,
Wow.
like
he was
in the
short.
shot though.
No,
they
yeah.
had a couple of bad shots in the hot tub scene where she's taking pictures and her hand is over her head, but then it cuts to like the view of what's happening in her camera and her hands on her boob instead.
Is that the one where Pooh's in the background?
I think so.
And
Yeah.
she's like, "What the hell?" And
Yeah.
she looks around for
I like
1
that.
second.
That
and
was
then she
scary.
goes back in the pool, like, "You're not gonna ruin my night."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She's like, "Are
You
you, the
deserve
guy?"
everything that's gonna happen to you.
Which, speaking
wrong
of,
with you?
where did they get chloroform? Which is only what I can only assume
I said
they
that
had
as
on
well.
that rag that they put on her face.
Yeah.
Where's that come from? Where are they
Probably-
finding all these things?
Probably the same spot they got the car from.
Yeah, and the shibari rope.
Yeah.
Just down to the local fetish store.
I don't love that you know what that's called.
I looked it up for this podcast. I had to
okay.
Google. I had to
Okay.
Google sexy
Okay.
rope tying.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, whatever
But
you
that
say.
gets us to I think the best part of this movie is when they're all freaking out because they've seen their friends. You know, the friends are dead, and she's shaking her friend by the shoulders. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. And main girl goes, "I've got a gun."
Yeah.
Two questions.
With one bullet, I guess.
Why didn't you use it at all during this entire movie? It almost failed Chekhov's gun test.
Yeah.
Two, is this in the UK?
Yeah.
Yes. This is
Okay.
a UK movie.
Then one, how'd they get the gun? And two, why did the guy in the garage have a very clear Southern accent?
Yeah, and there was a guy later in the movie that had a very clear American accent.
That was the same guy.
Oh, was it
The
really?
leader in the truck squad.
Oh,
Yeah, I
I
checked.
see.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think you can get a gun in the UK. I think it's just harder. So maybe if you've got a stalker, they're like, yeah, you can.
You can have a handgun.
Yeah,
'Cause it was
but
a fucking
it wasn't just a
revolver.
handgun.
No.
No.
That was a 57 Magnum. That's a big ass fucking
And
gun.
then they didn't fucking shoot anybody.
No, they had a she had a clear shot on
The
Winnie
whole-
Pooh
And
at one
didn't-
point.
Like
Yes.
100 times.
I mean,
I was sitting there yelling on my computer, fucking shoot him!
I was too.
Shoot him!
him. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's
very
okay.
enraging points in this movie.
Shibari, Tai, they carry another girl off.
Yeah.
They're like, we should go get her.
Yeah. Which that part of the movie, like that section of the movie was really funny because they go to like their lair and then they run away and then they go back and then they run away and then they go back. It's like, fucking make up your mind. Stay, like, leave or go. Do one. Don't do both. Fucking get out of there or just hang
ridiculous.
out. I mean, yeah, they just ran around for like 30 minutes.
I think that's a good way to sum up this movie. Is they ran around for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, I confirmed what I thought earlier at this point by the movie where I said, yeah, things are just happening.
Indeed.
For whatever reason, they're just happening. Who was the lady they found?
So they found that lady was in the garage at the beginning of the movie. So they run into her and some man, and then we see that lady. And I wanted to wait till the end for this, but that segues well into my big theory here. We are introduced to a bunch of characters in this movie. We see all of them die, but one. The man who was with that woman in the garage. He's not in the movie the rest of the time. Is that Pooh?
No, I think Pooh is
No.
actually
Yeah.
a
Right,
monster in that.
right.
Yeah.
But why did they just forget?
Probably.
Maybe that's the setup for Pooh 2.
Pooh 2, Electric Poogaloo.
Yeah.
I checked because I was like, okay, maybe Pooh and Piglet are actually the guy in the garage, like the garage attendant, and then the guy who was with whatever her name was, the older woman. But the garage attendant was at the truck scene at the end, and that man was not in the movie at all. The other guy, not one
They're
time.
half breeds.
Yeah.
How would they be human?
Well, who
Maybe he
knows?
helps them.
Maybe they are human.
Yeah, maybe they're working together.
I don't
Yeah, I
think
guess
so.
how would they get the chloroform? That guy brings it to him.
Maybe.
Yeah.
He brought him a treat, a snack
That
for
could be
for
a good
Piglet to
point.
snack on.
In favor of not killing them. You know, help
No.
him kill other people with sparing his own life.
Yeah.
I thought the scenes with the lady they find tied up in there, she did nothing.
No.
Yeah.
No.
She was very pointless.
They released her, then she saw how ugly she is now.
Yeah.
Because they beat her.
Yep. And they immediately gave her the gun.
And then they immediately give her the gun, and then she immediately shoots at nothing.
Yep.
And I guess that was the only bullet.
Yeah.
Yep.
I also really loved the 30-second circle around, like circle with your enemy. And I'm like, you have a gun.
Yeah.
Shoot the pig.
But she tried, and there was no more bullets. She was out.
I don't know if they were trying to give her like a redeeming backstory or like some. You're like, yes, yeah, get him,
Yeah, no, she just got
or like
she got
build some
killed
rapport.
immediately.
Just got killed immediately.
Yeah, and then I don't know, some other stuff happens.
I
They run
thought-
around for a bit.
Oh, here's a good a point I wanted to make. Piglet was captured and like whacked so easily.
Yeah.
So I mean, it took nothing to get him,
no,
and it was one person.
yeah,
And
a
she fucking just beat him up, tied him up, beat him a bunch, and she would have killed him if Pooh didn't step in. But her 3 friends are right there.
yeah,
Didn't really do anything.
no,
No, just kind of watched.
Why
Yeah.
didn't they do that at first? Why didn't they use the one bullet to shoot the bear and then just beat the fuck out of the pig?
because then the movie would have ended a lot quicker.
It should have.
Yeah, it felt like it dragged on a little bit, where things just kept going and going.
Yeah. Every scene was about 30 seconds too long.
Yeah, because they run out from the lair and then run back, and then finally run back out to a road, right?
Yep.
And they find the truck full of what
some-
seemed to be an Australian man, a British man, and an American
An
man
eclectic mix of accents.
in a nice
Yeah.
truck.
Yep.
That was like a Ford Raptor. That was
Yeah.
a nice.
They're all
ass truck.
hanging out. They're like, what do we got here, Jerry? And then
Yeah.
everyone says, oh, I don't know.
They were surprisingly helpful because they're like, "You need to calm down, miss," and they're like, "Oh, Pooh's
you
trying to
don't
kill us." They're like, "Are you high?" Pooh's trying to kill you.
Yeah, Pooh comes out. I love that fight scene. I love it. Why don't we go to our MMA correspondent
Okay.
to break down this fight?
Well, this fight is actually a good example of where Pooh must have somehow in this alternate dimension developed superpowers. During this fight, not only does he manage to grow his body,
He gets taller.
yeah,
doesn't
he
he?
gets taller, probably double if not like triple his size, and then he also telepathically sends a swarm of bees after a man.
He's got bee powers, dude.
He also had a knife hand
He did. He
did,
front hand,
yeah.
backhanded every single
and chopped
person
somebody's
there.
head off. With
Yeah.
the,
Yeah, he did.
With
He
the
just
knife hand.
and maybe that was supposed to be his bear claws, but
Well, you know what I thought was weird is he beats the fuck out of one of the like girl characters with that big hand when she's tied up.
Oh, he slaps the shit
Yes.
out of her.
Like 100 times.
yeah,
And then was he holding? He must have been holding back because apparently he can rip a man's head off with one hand.
Maybe
Yeah,
he's like the
I guess
Hulk, where
so.
the angrier he gets, the bigger he gets. and the
Yeah.
stronger
I
he
see.
gets.
yeah.
My favorite line from that was when I think I texted it to you guys. What was it? Oh, the best line delivery of this whole movie comes from that main garage attendant when he gets out of the car and he goes, "What's going on, girls? What's happening?" I was like, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
I loved those characters though. I
Yeah,
thought they were
and
hilarious.
he goes up to the bear. He
They're
goes,
funny.
"It's time to open up a can of whoop ass," and he whacks him, and the bear's like, "Okay, you're tough."
Yeah, I'll give you one.
I'll give you that.
You're tough.
And then they do a great like Marvel like pre-fight scene where they're all like gripping their hammers. They beat the fuck out of Pooh. I mean, they whack him.
Yeah,
They almost get him.
yeah. But then he knife hands him,
He gets
and then the swarm of
Yeah.
bees.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was that about? It was ridiculous. He just wags his finger and they descend on the man. Why does he have bee powers? I hate it.
He only uses it once in the
He was-
movie.
Yeah, he Christopher Robins left him, and he just became a supervillain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
This is his origin story.
It was.
That's what we
Yeah.
watched.
Yeah, and then it just kind of ends
Well,
after
there's
a chase.
Oh.
Yeah,
another
so I
chase
want to point
scene.
out that chase scene. Guess how long it is?
a minute and 30
A
seconds.
minute and 30 seconds of screaming.
Yeah, pretty much.
Get off the... And there was also a great shot in there of the nerdy girl with glasses. Like, Pooh's coming over the window and she's punching the inside
Oh
of
my
the
god.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my god.
That's not doing anything.
Oh, here's a good... What the fuck did they crash into? She slams on the
That's
brakes.
car.
what I was
The
No,
other
there was
car.
no
No.
other car.
No,
She
just hit
slammed the
brakes.
brakes,
Slams on
and
the
then it
brakes.
cuts, and her face is covered in blood.
Oh,
and the
I thought it
car's
was a
like fucked up.
tree.
No, because they do another shot.
They're in the middle
car
of the
and it's
road.
On the middle of the road.
Yeah,
I got the impression that
$111.
she slammed on the brakes hard enough and whacked her head on the steering wheel,
Well,
which
how
is
did it
wild
knock both of them out?
because she hit the brakes so hard.
yeah. That's what I thought happened.
And they weren't wearing their seat belts.
Oh, yeah.
Wear your
Click it or
seatbelts,
ticket.
Click it or
Click
ticket.
it or
Yeah.
ticket. Yeah, wear your seatbelts. I was like, this is ridiculous. They didn't hit anything.
Same thing. I was like, I don't think that's how like
Cars
physics
work.
works.
Yeah.
I think they just slammed on the brakes and smacked their head against
She was
the steering wheel.
bleeding. They were both fucked up after that.
Well, you got a
Yeah.
lot of blood vessels in your head.
I
That
guess
is true.
so.
It is true.
Yeah, and then they decapitate the girl.
Yeah, wait. Also, was the driver's seat on the left or the right?
It was on the right side.
Okay, so
Yep.
it was a British truck.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
This
Not
is
many of
a
those.
100% British movie, except for the.
Except for the
All the
subject
guys that got
matter.
off the truck.
Yeah.
Except for the Australian and the American Hicks.
Yep. We get a Deus Ex Chris Robinson, with the greatest line. Fuck you! He somehow doesn't die in this car accident.
Yeah, and then he doesn't die at the end of the movie either.
That
No.
fucking final embrace scene was so unearned. It like made me mad. They
Yeah.
spend so long because Pooh slits main girl's throat. Everybody's like no, and then they spend so long looking holding each other.
Yeah, and it's like,
Like
these
you
people
haven't talked at all.
Yeah, you don't know.
You don't know her.
I was like, I feel like this is
yeah.
a dying love scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because I peeped it originally the way that they looked at each other. I was like, oh, there's some sort of
Okay.
romantic interest
Man,
here.
you went
And
too
then
hot chained up in this bear's basement.
Yeah.
I did think hot Christopher Robin
Yeah.
in that scene.
I'll be honest, I did too.
Okay. Yeah.
White boys really aren't my thing anymore, but he was pretty cute.
He might be changing your mind.
Asian guys.
Yeah.
She's now into pasty. She was Asian guys, and now she's into pasty.
Pasty
British
British man.
boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chimney sweeps, if you will.
It'll change.
Please, sir. Please, Riley. Please take me on a date, Riley.
Take me on a date, Riley.
I'll pay for everything,
I'll
Riley.
spend my
My
days
name is
sweeping chimneys.
My name is this little chimney sweep boy.
You all
I'm
see what I have
Christopher
to deal with.
Robin.
Yeah, ridiculous ending scene. And then I don't know, Riley, tell us how this fucking movie ends.
It just ends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He just runs away.
And then it ends.
He's a coward.
Like, it's just over.
Why doesn't Pooh use the bees?
maybe he has a soft spot for Christopher.
Well, they
I
do
think
do a
so.
scene
Maybe,
that-
yeah.
Where he
like,
cries.
Crying.
And then he
It's
proceeds to
mad.
beat the shit out of him. Yeah.
Conflicted.
God.
I love a
Or
conflicted
where he like
villain.
the only 2 words he says is "you left," and then I think he like slits the girl's throat
Yeah.
or whatever.
uh-huh.
He didn't sound like Winnie the Pooh at all.
No.
either.
No.
He did have some amazing turnaround scenes.
Oh,
He
yeah.
did. Yeah. We
Yeah,
go,
where he's showing
Looks
the back
over
and
his
he
shoulder.
Yeah.
just whips around. It was
over his
amazing.
shoulder.
Those were amazing, especially because the mask is like so obviously a mask
Yeah.
that it's just a dude. Oh my
Overall,
gosh.
it-
Yeah, that's the
entertaining
movie.
movie. Yeah.
That's the whole movie.
Entertaining movie.
I guess we get into our next segment.
Ranking? Ranking.
Ranking.
Let's rank this bad boy. Let me pull up the list so far and see what it looks like. So, right now the worst one we've seen is Ouija, Ordinance of Ouija, then Ouija, then Five Nights at Freddy's.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, where are we feeling with this one?
I really liked this movie.
Really?
I liked it a lot.
Really liked it.
I thought that it was stupid. It was enjoyable to watch. None of it made any sense. But if you're just trying to like waste an hour and 20 minutes,
Yeah, it's pretty short as well.
this is the movie for you, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say, in terms of like movie quality, Five Nights at Freddy's was like a better movie.
Yeah.
But
did you have a better time with this one?
But I had a better time with this one.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I was way more entertained watching this one than Five Nights at Freddy's. So, for the sake of the list, because we're not ranking like, which movie that you have the best time watching, I'm gonna say this is gonna go third place. Five Nights at Freddy's gets moved down to 4 for me.
Okay.
I had it the exact same way. I thought it was definitely a lot more enjoyable, way easier to digest than either of the Ouija movies. But I think Five Nights at Freddy just executed a little bit better, probably because they had more budget.
Yeah.
But I think it holds its place at the bottom of the list.
I was kind of feeling this being maybe the best one so far.
Interesting.
I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that ranking either.
No.
I mean, I agree that I think Five Nights at Freddy's, I feel like it had a better vision. Like there were actually people making decisions on the movie, but that's because it was made by a real studio with real actors that had resources. Whereas this was like, seems like a group of 8 people and a guy
Just made a fun movie.
made it in 10 days. So I don't really know. I mean, I could see Five Nights at Freddy's being better than this, but I'm not sure. It's a toss-up.
We're
for
back
me.
at this question. How are we ranking? Is this movies that we've had the best time watching,
No.
or movies that are like either good objectively or bad objectively? Like technically, the writing, this and that.
I think, I don't know. I think I'm feeling this in third place, really. Because I think that, Five Nights at Freddy's is a better made movie.
Yeah, I had the best time watching this. Technically, Five Nights at Freddy's is probably a better movie.
Yeah. What do you think, Riley?
Riley?
Jinx.
Jinx.
Five Nights at Freddy's was so boring to me.
Yeah?
It was boring. This one, I mean, granted, again, I will reiterate, I absolutely hate gore movies. I originally stopped the movie at, I want to say, somewhere around when Christopher Robbins was getting whipped. And I was like, I can't watch this because it was just too gross for me. And then I was like, I kind of want to see what this movie develops into. So I came back to it and I was entertained.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there are like scenes that don't make sense. Things are just kind of thrown together at times, it feels like. But I feel like with how disgusting and disturbing that they have this movie, it like makes up for it to where I would rank it better than Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, to your point, Riley, I think the fact that they did this movie on $100,000 and Five Nights at Freddy's had a
great point.
$20 million budget.
Yeah.
This movie, I mean, in terms of like, budget to reward ratio or whatever, it takes the cake 100% of the time.
Okay.
I would agree.
So we're thinking this is the best one so far.
I think
think so, yeah.
I'm
I
on
wouldn't-
board,
yeah.
Riley. This one's the best one.
Winnie the Pooh coming in at number 4 on the list right now.
Oh yeah,
That's
great. Good. Watch this movie.
Yeah,
It's
go
fucking
watch the
fun.
movie.
It's
You
a fun movie.
You really can only experience for yourself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You got to be there.
Here's a question for you guys. So, do you think the sequel is going to be bad, or do you think it'll be better? They've got more money. People liked this movie. I mean, people hated it on Letterboxd, but like I'm sure everybody probably had a fine time watching it.
yeah,
Like this movie to me has like cult classic written on it.
yeah.
Yep, I can see that.
And I have a feeling that like it's just gonna get bad. Like
Probably.
it's just gonna get worse. The sequel, they're gonna have a ton of money. There's gonna be a studio probably involved, like a big
can see
studio.
Well, I think slashers have a tendency to turn very quickly from like an original idea into a self-parody. That happens with it happens with lots of movies, but I feel like slasher movies, that happens a lot.
This is kind of already a self-parody of a parody of a cartoon.
Yeah, so I could see it getting pretty bad, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, would go into what are we watching next?
What
What are we watching next?
Nice.
Bring up.
What are we watching next?
We're spinning. It
Not yet.
is
Yeah.
Riley gets to pick the movie.
Okay, I have a movie.
Okay.
It was a very basic choice. I just Googled worst horror movies ever made.
Oh, great.
I've seen this twice. We're going back to my favorite,
You've seen this twice?
Ghostly. No. Wait.
You've seen this movie twice?
Talking to your mic.
No.
That's what you
You've
just
seen
said.
this movie twice?
Is that what I said?
You said I've seen this twice.
I didn't mean to say that. I apologize.
Okay.
Are you hiding something?
What a liar.
No.
It's actually her favorite movie of all time.
Yeah. She
No,
sounds
I
very
mean my
excited
favorite
for
type
this.
of movie.
Okay.
Being demonic and ghostly.
Okay.
Ooh.
And it is called The Haunting of Marley Hartley.
Marley
Haunting
Harley.
of
Molly. Sorry, I don't know what's going on with me.
What's it rated?
Let's see. 2.2 out of 5.
Oh, no, like PG-13.
Oh, I think. Oh, right. We have that rule, don't we?
Well, it's
There's
already
no rule.
No, it's not a rule.
Oh.
We just wanted to kind
It
of
is
break the
PG-13.
pattern.
Do you want me to change it?
Yeah,
I can
this
do
is
it.
fine.
No, it's
This
fine.
is your choice.
Yeah. So next week we're watching Haunting of Molly Holly.
Molly Hartley.
Oh.
Molly Holly. The Haunting of Molly Holly.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I like it.
Yeah, this has been...
That's what we're watching.
That's going in. That's gonna be great. Yeah. So this has been Dookie Spookies.
Dookie Spookies.
Yeah.
We can go out now.
Episode number 2.
Yeah, we gotta do some good cold closing.
Yeah, we're just
conversation.
we're just talking a little bit.
Oh.
Are you guys going out?
Yeah, bro.